All right, wrestling fans, welcome to Gonzo's Wrestling Room. Changed it up a little bit this week. We're actually recording on a Sunday night and releasing on a Monday since it was WrestleMania weekend. Had a big two-night WrestleMania uh, show this year. I figure after the way this went, I think it's going to stay two nights probably from now on. I would say,
Yeah, they've already announced that next year's California one's going to be 2 nights.
as always, it's Chris Gonzalez and Tony Gonzalez. Who knows? We might have a couple people drop in. I don't know for sure yet, but uh, where you want to start out tonight?
Um, well, we could start night one. I did want to mention, and I didn't write any notes down, but real quick, we'll mention Stand and Deliver that they had Saturday afternoon. I thought it was a real solid show. I mean, I thought the ladder match that opened the show was fantastic. One of the better matches of the weekend. I thought it was really good. So, but I thought Stand and Deliver was a good show. I thought it was a good way to open the weekend. Well, real quick, touch on. I think we should touch real quick on what we seen Friday night. Uh,
Yes, let's start for Friday night.
Friday night with the Undertaker and the Hall of Fame. I thought the Hall of Fame was great. I hope they continue to do it on Fridays after SmackDowns. Just putting in 4 or 5 people. End up about 2.5 hours long, I think, something like that. Uh, I think it was about 2 hours long, maybe. But I thought it was great. I've never seen anybody get an ovation like that. The Undertaker got it was almost towards 10 minutes of an ovation. He couldn't even talk. You know that the people were so loud and going crazy. And the other inductees, all the people gave speeches. I thought it was one of the better Hall of Fames I've seen. I really enjoyed it.
I really hope they keep it in the arena setting like that. I think it made it feel like the fans were more involved. It could have just been because it was the Undertaker, but even for the other inductees, it just seemed like the fans were more involved.
I agree.
And I think, and that they had a bigger. Usually a bigger crowd than what the normal Hall of Fame is, right? Because usually they don't do them in a bigger arena like that.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably bigger because that crowd was probably about 14,000 strong, and not
And I'm
counting
I'm thinking I'm thinking where some of them buildings they usually done in it might have been like 6,000 or 6 or 7,000 people.
yeah, probably. I thought it was really cool. I hope they keep it that way.
I like how they had the wrestlers sitting up there on the stage
Yep.
and stuff. I thought that was cool because the wrestlers kind of got to acknowledge them when the inductee was coming out. I thought that was cool because like the other way, you really don't have that interaction between them like that because they're out sitting in the crowd.
Yeah, yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought the Undertaker people got to see the real Undertaker, real Mark Calloway. Really got to see him and talked for 30, 45 minutes, and I thought it was really excellent. I thought the Vader segment was really good, and his son and the mom were really good. The Shad Gasper son and ex-wife, well, wife, not ex-wife, wife, uh, was on there. I thought they were good. Um, yeah, I thought it was a really good show. Oh, the Steiners. Uh, I thought it wasn't real long, but I thought it was really good. And Rick Steiner's son, Braun Breaker, got to induct them in. So, yeah, I thought it
I
was a
thought
really
that
good
was
show.
the right. I thought that was the right choice to have Rick's son induct him in. I really don't know who else you would have had done it. I know he's not really a big name yet. I think he's going to be a real big name here pretty soon.
I do
But
too.
uh, I love the interaction between Rick and Scott up there in the ring. Like what Scott said, when they put a mic in front of me, sometimes it goes good, or sometimes it can go off the rails. And Rick grabbed the mic, kind of took it from him, and then when Rick said he didn't think this day would ever come, and Rick looked at Scott, and Scott said, "What?" He goes, "You know what?" I like those interactions, just like with the Undertaker when he was messing with Kane a little bit,
Yeah,
and I thought it was cool because I mean, we've got to see it a little bit because we watched some of the podcasts, and finally, when he retired, he got on some of the podcasts and stuff like that. So you got to see a little bit more of the person Mark Calloway than just the Undertaker. Because
yeah,
even like on that last Broken Skull sessions he did, it was more of just Stone Cold and Mark Calloway. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But everybody got to see it, and that his speech. I thought his speech was great.
Yeah, I did too.
I didn't think it was too long. I actually thought it could have went a little bit longer. I mean, he had me interested. It wasn't like I was ready for it to end. Uh, I like kind of how he went through the timeline.
Yep.
And then I like how he talked about like his three mental weapons or whatever his
Yep.
three weapons as he called them. I just thought it was a good. He tied it all in together. It was a good story.
I think it was good, a good speech for a lot of them wrestlers, especially the younger wrestlers to hear.
Well, I saw we would do a lot with the independents. I saw one of the guys that we know real well on Facebook said, "Hey, he just basically changed my whole outlook on some things with that." So I mean, and if you listen to, I mean, it sounds like common sense, but it's also something that that people don't think about all the time as well.
Yep.
But I thought the whole Hall of Fame thing was real good. I like that setting. It just seemed
Yep.
uh
Great.
Charmel, her speech was great.
Yeah, she was one. I said, man, she deserves to be in. And but
I was the same way, but after watching that and then watching some of the other stuff, video clips and some of the other stuff I've seen, I mean, she played an important role and especially in that King Booker run.
Yeah, she did. And but the main thing is that how good her speech was and how thankful she was and thanking all these people and how appreciative she was to be in. I think it meant a lot to her. And basically going in as a manager. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it at all. I mean, I was really impressed with her speaking ability and her speech. It was really good.
And then Vader, his son, was that his wife?
Yeah, that was his ex. Well, yeah, that was Vader's wife. Yeah.
Yeah, but man, his son was well spoken. He was well spoken, and you could tell he was real appreciative of it. But you could also tell they were up there. They were having a good time. Kind of, they tried to interact with the crowd as soon as they got up there. I mean,
Yeah.
so it was pretty cool. And
Well,
the Shad Gaspard thing was cool as well.
yeah, the Vader thing. I think Vader was a big personality and liked to have fun. So I think that they, wanted to kind of portray that the son and the mom, the wife. The Shad Gasper thing, that was a tough thing. I mean, you got the son. This happened 2-3 years ago. His son's probably about 12 years old now, and his dad saved his life and perished in the process. And then to put the wife in that situation to get up on stage and talk about all that and kind of relive it a little bit. And plus, she's not a public speaker. She's not a performer. She's put in a tough situation. I thought she did real good. I mean, there was times she kind of repeated things a little bit, but I thought she did real good.
Yeah, I thought she done all right. I mean, that's a hard thing to do. Get up there in front of that many people and talk about it. I mean, yeah, you're honoring him, but you're still talking about a tragedy that happened.
Oh,
I mean, I
yeah.
don't care how long it's been. It's something you just don't get over.
No.
And that little boy, I thought he handled it great. He looked pretty comfortable up there. She
Yeah,
kept asking him if he was okay, and I was like, yeah, he looks like he's cool.
Yeah, he looked like he was fine.
He was repeating that quote that she said at the end.
Yep.
He was saying almost before she was. He
Yeah.
knew exactly what she was going to say.
Yep.
I thought that was cool that the tag team partner came out and they done that little thing in the ring,
Yeah,
like
JTG.
they used to do. Then that little like handshake thing that they used to do. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Shad Gaspard and JTG was Crime Time in the WWE for a few years, and JTG I believe works for NWA now, but he came out and walked him to the ring, and I think got in the ring, and him and Shad's son did a little thing, and probably helped make them feel comfortable. So I thought it was pretty cool.
And then you go to Saturday with NXT Stand and Deliver, and that was a real solid show. There was some. I thought the Breaker Ziggler match. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great match.
It's hard for Ziggler not to have a good match. Plus, I'm not saying Breaker's not good. Breaker's good, and he's getting better all the time. I think it's great. I was a little shocked, really, that Ziggler kept the belt. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Breaker. Is he moving up? I've heard that rumor. So the rumor is he's going to go to Raw. I don't see where Raw needs more people because we're going to be talking about that. They just got an addition. This weekend in WrestleMania. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what to do with Breaker. NXT's really got some guys ready to go. I think Carmelo Hayes is ready. I think LA Knight's ready. I think MSK could go. I definitely think Imperium and Gunther's ready to go. Could go. I don't think the Creed brothers are ready, but I don't think they're a long ways away. I think you give them another 6 months. I think they would be ready. So
I'd like to see Cameron Grimes get a shot.
Yeah, I think Cameron Grimes is more than ready. I think they're going to season him a little more. They give him that North American title. He won that in that ladder match. So I think they're going to season him a little bit more. I think Vince sees something in him. He's trying to change the gimmick a little bit. Where they've kind of shaved him up and cleaned him up a little bit, and trying to make him a little more serious. Not quite as. I mean, just still letting him be his character, but I think Vince thought he may have been too much of a character. So they're making some little tweaks to it, but hopefully it'll go well for him because I think he's talented. I think he deserves to be up there. So
I think that Solo Sequoia will be moving up here not before too long, probably as well. He's getting better and better.
You seen the stand and deliver. You seen WrestleMania. You seen that ladder match with them 5 guys. I put that ladder match up against. I'm not saying it was better than any of the matches at WrestleMania, but it was right there. I mean, it was right there. And so was Breaker and Ziggler.
I know I'm not a wrestler, but if you're in a ladder match and you're going to get up on top of another ladder and jump onto a ladder, and the guy's going to move, don't do an elbow drop.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
That's the worst way. I mean, that was the worst way to hit the ladder. I mean, is there a real great way to hit a ladder? Probably not. But that was the worst way you could have hit the damn thing, because then your arm goes in the middle and the hook gets caught in between the things. If you're going to miss that, you'd almost be better doing like a damn Santon and landing on your back or something, landing on the top of the ladder. He hit the side of it, elbow. Man, it was awkward shit.
Yeah, it was Waller did that. I haven't heard anything about injuries, so it might just look bad and he's okay because I haven't heard anything about an injury. I think we would have heard something by now.
Yeah, it didn't look good at all.
No, it didn't. It looked like it could have been bad, and you didn't see him after that, so I don't know.
But no, I really liked that match. The Breaker and Ziggler match was good.
LA Knight Gunther match was good. Really wasn't a bad match on the card, really. I didn't think.
Tell you what, I never realized how that LA Knight was that big of a dude. But I mean, he's a pretty big dude himself.
He's 6'2", 6'3", probably 230, 240. I mean, he's not a little guy. And he's as over as anybody's NXT's got, with the crowd.
Yeah.
Speaks well. He performs well in the ring. I think he's ready to move up. I mean, I think you could put him on SmackDown and make him the Intercontinental Champion, or what. I think right now, I think SmackDown needs some people.
Yeah.
So, I would go young. Let the champion Reigns, be the anchor of the show and bring these young guys up there and build that undercard and have some good matches. And I think it would help SmackDown.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, but I thought NXT kicked off the weekend great. Then we had it also yesterday, WrestleMania Night 1, which wasn't disappointing by any means. I thought it was a real solid show.
Yeah, the 2 nights of WrestleMania this year were, in my opinion, was really, really good. Over the last 10, 15 years, I think this WrestleMania was as good as any of them in the last 10 or 15 years. WrestleMania 30 was really good. One with Daniel Bryan, with the belt and stuff. I thought it was a really good WrestleMania. But this was a really good WrestleMania. I really enjoyed both nights. It kicked off, unfortunately, we had a wrestler get hurt. It kicked off the Usos and Nakamura and Rick Boogs, and they did a spot where Boogs had the both Usos up on one Uso on top of him, and then the other one jumped up and he got him, and then his knee just buckled, and I don't know what I think it was a quad. I think he said, and
I've
looked
heard
like
a quad, and then I heard a torn patella tendon.
okay, so he gonna be out for a while. So what I read earlier today, they said probably 9 months. So it sucks because Boogs was really getting a push. I
I was
mean,
gonna say, yeah, he was getting.
in the tag matches, he was one being featured more than Nakamura. Honestly, I think Vince was really high on him. So it kind of sucks that he got hurt. But that was probably the weakest match on the first night. But not, I think just because that injury happened, that match was supposed to go 15 minutes, and I final went at 8 or 9. So it may not have been weak. Not that it was bad at all. That was the first match of the night. Usos retained the title. Um, the next match, I believe, if I remember correctly, was Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin. I thought it was a good match. I don't think Corbin gets enough credit. I think he's really good. I think he's a real good heel. Uh, I thought McIntyre performed real well. I thought it was a solid match. Of course, McIntyre won the match, and but I thought it was solid.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that match as well. I haven't really saw a lot of people like crapping on it or anything.
Uh,
Uh, uh, but you're right. I don't think people realize how good Corbin is in the ring.
oh, he's excellent. He really is. He don't get
And
any
you can
credit.
say what you want about his gimmick right now, but I'll tell you what, he goes all in on it, and he's a good heel.
Yep.
But him doing this Happy Corbin thing, I mean, he's all in. That's what I like about it. You can tell he's all in on it, and he's putting everything into it. And he's and that damn it, Moss, was it
Matt,
Mad Cat?
yep.
Uh, I dude's pretty damn athletic.
I tell you,
I think he could end up being pretty good.
I seen an interview with Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman thinks that the next big breakout star of WWE in a few years is going to be Madcap Moss. He loves the guy. He thinks he's got it all. He's a total package. So, I mean, if Heyman says something like that, Heyman knows a lot. So, we'll see. The next match was the Mysterios against Miz and Logan Paul. I thought Logan Paul did a heck of a job. I thought he did a real good job. I thought it was a real good match. Of course, and that's another thing. I thought Dominic Mysterio performed great.
Yes.
I think he was fired up. I thought he
Be
was.
honest with you, that's the best I've seen, in my opinion, him look
Yep.
since his debut.
Yeah,
I thought he looked real good his debut, but ever since then, he just hasn't really captured me like that. But then last night, man, I thought, yeah, I agree. He put on a hell of a show. And another thing, I know some people wasn't high about was trying to trash WWE because they were having all these celebrities on WrestleMania. Go back and watch this WrestleMania and watch the people that you call celebrities that were on there and watch how they performed.
Oh man,
Hey, them guys, and I'm not taking. Well, I don't care if anybody takes the wrong way or not. Them guys performed a lot better than some of the guys you watching AEW.
yep.
Pat McAfee, I know we're not to him yet, but he could go over to AEW right now and compete with anybody. Well, almost anybody over there. Yeah, you have your Brian Daniels, but McAfee's no slouch in the ring. Look, you could tell Logan Paul. You could tell Logan Paul had been training and working at it. Bad Bunny. Look how good he did.
Yep.
Look at the celebrities that AEW brings in.
Yep.
Yeah, you had Shaq get in the ring, but Shaq just if it had been Shaq 10, 15 years ago, it'd have been great because Shaq was an athlete, but he just now he can't move like that no more.
I thought what they did, they booked Shaq right in that match,
Yeah.
and it did a good rating that night.
No, I don't have a problem with. I'm just saying though.
Yeah, I know.
They trashed WWE, but look at the celebrities that have been coming into WWE have been able to wrestle.
Chris,
Johnny Knoxville maybe ain't the most technical, but if you watch that tonight and you tell me that Johnny Knoxville wasn't entertaining as fuck,
yep.
I mean, I don't know what's wrong with you because that match was entertaining. I loved it.
They sold 77,000 tickets Saturday night, almost 78,000 tickets on Sunday night. So they sold 155,000 tickets in 2 days. You just can't do that with normal matches. You got to bring stuff. and they put on a complete entertaining show. And the three guys, you know, McAfee, Logan Paul, and Johnny Knoxville, added to the show, got big pops, and it helped make the show special, make it different. So yeah, WWE did a great job of booking the show. A lot of people thought, oh man, this show's gonna be crap. This show's gonna be crap. Again, it was one of the better WrestleManias in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay. After the Mysterios match, I believe, if I remember correctly, we had the Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, and Bianca Belair won the championship for Becky Lynch. Excellent match. Might have been. It's there's 4 or 5 matches in these 2 nights that I think could have been match of the night. Just a matter of opinion, you know. But it was really good. It was really solid. I thought them women, actually, all 3 women's matches they had this weekend, I thought the women performed really well, busted their ass, and did a good job. So yeah, it was a real good match. I think they need to strap a rocket to Bianca Belair and run with it. I think she's got it all. I think she's got it in the ring. I think she's got the personality.
I agree.
I think she's the one. You know, Flair's been there a long time, and I'm not putting her down. She's been there a long time. She don't need the belt. I mean, you know, same honestly with Becky in a way. Becky's so old. I think the next one that they should push is Bianca Belair. Maybe Rhea Ripley too. I like her a lot too. She's got a lot of talent. But yeah, so it was a real good match. Did you like that match?
Yes, I thought that was right up there. That match there was right up there for match of the night on night 1 for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a real good match, and I agree. I think Belair is going to. I think she's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And she's not very old either, is she?
No.
I was gonna say
27, 28 maybe. And real quick, you talk about WrestleMania, you talk about matches. Not that you want good matches, don't get me wrong, but what you need for big shows, you need moments.
yes.
And this WrestleMania had a lot of moments. You know, it really did. It had a lot of big moments. Bianca Belair won the championship again over a story that went 6, you know, from SummerSlam where she lost the belt in 18 seconds to Becky to now. That's a long-term story. It went what?
Yeah.
You know, 7, 8 months. So I mean, it was good. The match after that was Seth Rollins and the mystery opponent, and that of course turned out to be Cody Rhodes. I thought they did it perfect. They brought Cody in as his AEW character, or I won't even say his AEW character because he's been using that song that he's using since Ring of Honor.
Basically, brought Cody in as his character that he
Yeah,
created.
yeah, that he's crafted over the last 6 years since he's been gone. Some of it in AEW, some of it in New Japan, some of it in Ring of Honor. Brought him in as that, and the interviews that I've read says that he talked to the Vince and a couple other people came down. I think Nick Khan was one of them, and the other guy I can't think of his name right now. The big right hand man,
Pritchard.
Bruce Pritchard. They flew to Cody and seen Cody and met with him, and Cody got what he wanted. I mean, I don't know how much money he got. I don't think it was all about money. I think he wanted a bus. They give him a bus because he wants his family to be with him, his child and his wife. They give him a bus, and I think they give him things that he wanted that maybe were even more important than money. I'm not saying he didn't get a lot of money. I'm sure he did, but I think he went to AEW, and not that AEW is a bad place or he thought it was a bad place, but the grass is not always greener on the other side. You think, oh man, this place, this, and this, and they do this, and this, and then you go there and you become part of management because in that interview I read, it said that he never wants to be part of management again. So maybe he found, maybe he learned, maybe did some growing up and some learning. And I mean, I don't know what all happened in AEW, why he left. I think it's strange that you go and become a executive vice president, AEW, you help start the place, and 3 years later you leave. Something happened. Who knows? We probably may never know because he said he won't badmouth him, so or saying won't talk about it. I thought the match was really good. I thought there was a couple times there the chemistry might have been a little off, but being the guy that Seth Rollins is in the ring, I thought he saved it. Not putting Cody down at all. I thought Cody performed great, but again, they not worked a lot together. Could have been a little bit of nerves too. I mean, that Cody coming back, that's a big thing, big step. I thought it was a really good match. So a lot of people thought it was the match of the night. Some people thought I don't think it was the moment of the night. There's something happened later on in the show that was the moment of the night, but it was right up there.
Yeah, it was a real good. I really liked the match. Thought it was real good, and I agree with you. I think something happened to AEW. That's why he wanted out. But I also think some of it was when he left WWE 6 or 7 years ago. He thought he was ready and a big star, and I think and like Vince told him, "Hey, I hope you can achieve what you want." Well, I think he wanted to go back to WWE and show Vince, "Hey,
Yeah.
I've got here now."
Well, Vince
No,
told him. Well, but I guess in the interview I read, Vince told him, said, "Hey, you made it. You proved yourself." So
I think that was part of the motivation, though, was to prove that he wanted to prove WWE, like, "Hey, I could be the guy."
I know there was some struggles between Triple H and Rhodes. I think Triple H was one of them that told Rhodes that he wasn't next level, and I think after him going to run things and seeing behind the scenes and stuff like that, he's come back and got a totally different appreciation for Triple H. So he said that in an interview. So I think he learned a lot. I think that again, the grass is not always greener on the other side. People complain about their job, complain about their life. You can always look around and see a heck of a lot worse. So I think he just learned some things, and I hope he does well there. I know that a lot of the AEW fans are just trashing him, man. They can't stand it. They left.
That kills me. Everybody was all a couple years ago. They were all about Cody.
Yeah. Hey, he won't be the last to leave. I mean, never, for whatever reason, somebody's not going to be happy, and they're going to look at another place to go. Just like in WWE, people get unhappy and they look for another place to go. It's going to happen in AEW. It's going to happen in Impact. It's going to happen everywhere. It's just part of the business, right or wrong. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, actually, it happens in the independent scene as well, like
Yeah.
that. So I mean, it happens all the way up.
Okay, so the next match after the after the Rollins match, if I remember correctly, was the Ronda Rousey match and Charlotte Flair. Pretty good match. Not your typical match. It's not going to be a smooth match with Rousey because Rousey's not a professional wrestler. She's a fighter, so it was more of a fight. I thought it looked realistic as a fight. I liked the match. It wasn't smooth. It was rough, but I thought that I like different matches. I don't want every match to look the same. I think sometimes you get where, well, that's the same. So you don't want that. So I like the match. Was it match of the night? No, probably not. Of course, Flair hung on to the belt. Of course, the angle was she cheated and stuff. So, but they're building something, for later on. But I thought it was a solid match.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid match, and I think the fans would look at her more like what you saw from maybe like a Ken Shamrock or a Steve Blackman back in the day.
Yep.
That's why her style is going to be more like that. Like Blackman, he didn't do a whole lot of wrestling. He was in there doing that. He was doing his karate.
Yep.
And that stuff. It's a different style. And am I the biggest Ronda Rousey fan? No, I'm not. But I thought the match was entertaining and a good match.
Hey, she's a draw. People come to see her, and I like the match. I like having a different style match. The only thing I would like them for them to do is, I know they don't want Ronda to submit. I would like a submission match. It would have the style of match it was, because both of them are going for submission.
Yeah.
Flair ends up getting a pin. Why couldn't they have worked out a deal in the match where Ronda don't even tap out. Let's say that something happens cheating wise and she gets knocked out. Flair puts on a submission move. Ronda, of course, can't respond, and the referee calls the match. I think that would have been perfect because the whole match, both of them were going for submissions the whole match. They didn't hardly cover for each other for pins hardly. So I thought that would have made a little more sense, and maybe more people would like the match a little better. But I thought it was good. I liked it. The last match, well, it wasn't announced as a match. It was announced as a segment, a talk show segment with Kevin Owens and Stone Cold. Of course, didn't know for sure what was going to happen. We thought it might be just an altercation with 5 or 6 minutes of fighting, and it turned into a match. I did not expect what was going to happen. Basically a no holds barred match. No disqualification, anything goes, and it lasted 14 minutes long. They was all over that place. Crowd loved it. I thought Kevin Owens did a fantastic job of making sure that things were safe and took care of Stone Cold. But I thought Stone Cold took some couple bumps that I surely didn't expect for him to take. Crowd loved it. I thought Stone Cold looked great. It had to be the moment of the night. I'm not saying match of the night necessarily, but I think that the crowd went crazy, and I think the fans online went crazy. So it was a big thing. And then I see people in AEW and fans say, "Yeah, you got to bring Stone Cold in and do this and this." Well, if you got something that's going to work, why not use it? I don't care if he's from 20 years ago. I don't care if he's from 50 years ago. I don't care if he's from 5 years ago.
He's still, and even he might not wrestled for 19 years, but he's still been relevant the whole 19 years he's been gone because he's had TV shows. Now he does this, you know what I mean? So, and now he's had his own beer for a while now. And now he just released another one. And I'll tell you what, he was in fucking good shape.
Yeah, he was.
He looked. I mean, he came out that curtain. I was like, damn. I mean, he looked good.
He looked good.
But the pop of the crowd, as soon as that glass shatters, it's just crazy. I mean,
it was unbelievable. And the fact that I couldn't believe he took a backdrop to the cement.
Yeah, and then he done a suplex out there too.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So I thought that was the moment of the night. Match of the night was probably between the Rollins Cody match or the Becky Lynch Bianca Belair match. You know, it's really tough to pick between those two. Night one, I thought was really good. I know a lot of the people that the pages I go to and stuff, and some of them I respect, thought the show was epic. I thought it was really fantastic. And not that I didn't. I thought it was really, really good. But we're getting ready to talk about night two. I thought night two was just as good, if not better. A lot of them liked night two also, but definitely thought night one was a lot better. So
wrestling wise, I think night one might have been just a tad better. But if you throw in the entertainment and everything, I think night two might have been just a little better.
Man, I don't know, because I tell you, that RK Bro, Alpha Academy and Street Profits match could have been up there for match of the weekend also. I mean, it was right there with so that was there, and then Edge and AJ Styles was pretty much a pure wrestling match.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that you had, a little thing at the end that make things interesting to continue the story. It's the first match in the story. Was it probably the best match they're going to have? I mean, it was a solid match. It was a good match.
I should rephrase it. I should say that night two to me had a few more moments.
Yes, I agree.
Night one did.
I did too. But and that's all perspective, because I understand people that are big Cody Rhodes fans, and not that I'm not, think that's a huge moment. And then Stone Cold coming back, that's probably the biggest moment of the weekend. But we'll talk about that in a minute, about night two and Stone Cold. So that was two massive moments for that show. I understand that. So I can under people saying that it was epic. So I can't put them down. I can't say that.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I thought it was damn good. I'm just saying, I think night
two was just as good.
For me, I think night two was just a little bit better. But I'll be honest, I I still got to watch a couple matches tonight too because I fell asleep waiting on it to start. But
Yeah,
what
but
happens? You take your damn medicine and eat.
yeah, yeah, I understand. Uh, let's go ahead and start on night 2. We had the first match of the night was RK Bro and Alpha Academy and the Street Profits. It was outstanding. It was a really good match. But them 3 teams can go, man. I mean, I don't know that they could have a bad match, but RK Bro and them hung on to the belts, and right now I think they had talked about splitting them up, and they may still do it in a couple months or something. I don't know. I think they're just so hot and selling so many tickets and selling so many shirts and stuff that I don't think they could split up Orton and Riddle. But yeah, it was a really good match. I know that was one of them you was asleep for a little bit. The next match was Bobby Lashley and Omos, and it was really good. Not as good as the first match, but I liked it, and I was really shocked the way they built up Omos when he was undefeated. Lashley beat him, so I thought that was a good match. Yeah, it was a solid match. Let me see here. I believe, if I remember correctly, the next match was Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn. And I'm not big on the crazy matches and stuff like that, gimmick matches maybe. But I tell you what, this match was hilarious, just tons of fun. Knoxville and his crew, the Jackass crew, did a great job. But Sami Zayn is just fantastic wrestler and fantastic entertainer. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious, and the crowd absolutely loved it. It had a blast. The match had been over for 5 minutes, and they were still out there laughing. The crowd was. So I thought it was really good. I know you got to see probably the last 5 minutes of it. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was great. I was cracking up. They had me cracking up the whole time.
Yeah.
I like the Jackass guys. I'm not like the biggest fan, but I've watched a couple. I've watched some of their stuff. I'll probably watch the new movie too because I know Eli wants to see it, so we'll probably watch it. But hey, Johnny Knoxville, he's an entertainer, and that's what and Sami Zayn's great. Sami
Hey,
Zayn's a guy that's underrated. I know I know a lot of people don't like him, but hey, that dude he's good in the ring and he's entertaining.
and you know the big thing too, and I want to go back to night 1 real quick just for a second because I forgot to mention it. Logan Paul and the Miz won that match, but the Miz turned on Logan Paul and give him the the skull crushing finale. So that's probably not over. And after this Sami Zayn match, that may not be over the way it ended and everything. So yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if you see Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania Backlash
maybe
or something.
Logan
Or
Paul too.
tomorrow, huh?
Maybe
Or
Logan
Logan
Paul.
Paul. Hell, you might see him tomorrow night.
Oh yeah,
Or,
Monday Night Raw is going to be a huge draw.
or when
So
this airs to be tonight. But yeah,
yeah, yep. Okay. The next match after the Sami Zayn match, if I remember correctly, was I believe the ladies championship match, tag team championship match. Featured 4 teams: Naomi and Sasha Banks, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Natalya, and Shayna Baszler, and then the champions, Queen Selena and Carmella. I thought all them teams busted their butt, man. I thought it was a real good match. Was it match of the night? No, probably not. But I thought it was a really good match. Fatal 4-way. Naomi and Sasha Banks won the match. Sasha Banks won her first WrestleMania match. That's the first match she's won at WrestleMania. She seemed pretty happy. So they got the belts. Again, I thought the women this year in all the matches really knocked it out of the park.
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of that tag team match tonight. I really wasn't, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. Really good.
I mean, that was one of the matches that really surprised me. I mean, I thought it'd probably be a pretty good match, but I didn't think it would be as good as it ended up being. It exceeded my expectations for sure.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like that Queen Zelina, but she plays that character great.
I think she's fantastic. I like the fact that she goes from her normal accent to English accent and then says a line and goes back to it and switches up. I think she's a perfect heel. I think she's underrated in the ring. She's small, so I think it's hard for her to look good when you're wrestling some of the people that's so big. as being as small as she is, because she's probably about 5'1", 5'2", but she can go. She can wrestle pretty well, and I like her character. I like watching her. I always have. So, even when she was in Impact and stuff, I always thought she was good. So, the next match after that, if I remember correctly, was Edge and AJ Styles. Um, I thought it was a real good match. Again, I don't think it's the best match you're going to have, because I think it was the first match of a series of matches. And the big thing, of course, AJ Styles Edge won the match with not necessarily interference, but Damian Priest showed up outside the ring, and AJ Styles got distracted. Edge won the match, and then afterwards, Damian Priest gets in the ring with Edge, and it definitely looks like there's going to be an alliance there. And there's rumors of more people coming in with Edge. He's going to have a group. I think it's really interesting. I would love to see it. And Edge came up sitting in a black chair with a black outfit with flames around him. So it's kind of suggesting like a Brood type group. So I think it's really interesting. So I think that was a really, really strong match. But again, I don't think it's going to be the best match that they have, because I think it's the start of a story and start of a series of matches.
Oh, I agree.
Okay,
I think
so
I think I thought that was a real good match. Which
it was a real good wrestling match. You notice they didn't hardly go out of the ring. I mean, it was a wrestling match.
Yeah, I really I really like it. But I'm a big Edge fan as well. But I've also turned into an AJ Styles fan. And I'll admit I wasn't never an AJ Styles fan until he came to WWE. I hear about him, I'm like, yeah, but then when he got to WWE, and I think it was he wrestled Jericho in one of his not too long after he was at WWE, and I watched him and Jericho go at it, and I was like, okay, you are as good as people have been saying you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I know definitely. AJ Styles is one of the best in the world, if not the best.
I wonder who else they're going to add in.
I've heard rumors of Ciampa, but the way he left NXT, because it looked like he's leaving, because Triple H came out after the match and everything, I wouldn't think they would have did all that if he was going to just move up to the next roster. I could be wrong, but I think he might be gone from WWE, or may just retire altogether. I don't know, but he would be perfect. I think Ciampa would be perfect to join that group.
Yeah,
because Ciampa's a heck of a heel also. I would like to see Finn Balor. You have Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Edge together. I think that'd be pretty awesome. But we'll see. The next match after that was the New Day against Ridge Holland and Sheamus. Solid match. It was pretty short. But I mean, it wasn't a great match, but it wasn't a bad match. One thing that was cool, New Day came out wearing the special gear of basically based on Big E and stuff, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad match, but it was a little quick.
A little quick. Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't as quick as we think, but compared to all the other matches that we've seen all weekend, it just seemed like it was real short.
Yep. And actually, I think I skipped a match. I think it was a match after AJ Styles and then that match. I think it was a match before that one. What Mcafee before that, or was it after that?
It was after that. McAfee was right before the main event.
Okay. Okay. So the next match was Pat McAfee and Austin Theory, and it was a really good match. I thought McAfee. Well, Theory's great. I mean, Theory's young, but is up and coming. I thought performed great. I thought McAfee knocked it out of the park. The crowd was so over for him. I mean, they went crazy for him. As big as pop as anybody on the night, except other maybe Stone Cold.
Well, they were singing his damn theme song the song he came out to the whole damn match almost.
Whole damn match. And of course, McAfee ended up beating Theory.
He got his first win in the WWE.
Yep.
And it was at WrestleMania.
Of course, Vince came out with Theory and watched the match. And after the match, after Theory lost, McAfee and Vince was kind of going back and forth. Vince was outside the ring, and McAfee was inside the ring. And McAfee invited him in the ring, and Vince acted like he's going to take off his jacket. And then he finally did take off his jacket. got in the ring, took off his shirt, and had the undershirt on. And next thing we know, they had a match, and it was great. I mean, it was.
And McAfee done a great job in that match against Vince, putting Vince over, selling stuff, and I mean,
it was good. And then
we got treated to Stone Cold again.
Yeah, McAfee lost a match due to interference from
Theory.
Austin Theory, and they beating the heck out of him, and then they got him outside the ring, and then here come Stone Cold, and Stone come in and stun Theory, and probably maybe the most epic selling of a stunner that I've ever seen. McAfee's was good too, but his was fantastic. And then probably the worst sell of a stunner that I've ever seen was Vince. But Vince looked like, I mean, Vince 76 years old, and looked like his leg was buckled. Well, actually, buckled went down to one knee, and they couldn't get the stunner on him. He waited, and then Vince lost his balance and went back towards the ropes, and he's trying. And Stone Cold's laughing, and finally he hit it, but he kind of fell backwards. So it was a bad sell, but nobody cared. And the fact that Stone Cold laughed so hard after it happened, that it was just great. He was having such a good time. And then of course he invited then him and like I said, him and Vince was drinking beer, and that's when he stunned him. Well, then he gets Pat McAfee in there, and they drank 4 or 5 beers, and then he stuns McAfee, and McAfee did a fantastic reaction to that too. So that 30-minute segment there was outstanding. The crowd loved it.
I've seen people post that was the best segment in WrestleMania history.
I don't know about that, but it was really good. I mean, you stop thinking about the segment with Kevin Owens, and then the segment with that. Stone Cold was the guy of the week. I mean, he was the guy, man of the week, or man of the weekend, no doubt about it. And a lot of people getting ready to talk about this last match, and I just now thought about that. Had Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, had a great story. No doubt, probably the story of the year. Did the match live up to the story? Maybe not. I mean, I thought it was a good match, but maybe the problem was having to follow.
Oh, I think
segment.
I know people would have complained because they wasn't advertised that Austin was going to be in it. But the way they done it with Austin coming out, they should have done that match last.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I understand why they didn't do it last, because if you would have said that Austin Theory and McAfee are main event night 2, people would be like, they're main eventing. But the way the story went out with Stone Cold coming back out and all that happening, I think it would have been. That's hard to follow. That would have been a great ending to WrestleMania. But I understand why it didn't do it that way, because.
Well, the thing of it is, that segment with Vince and all them and McAfee and all those guys, it was a 10. Roman Reigns and them was probably an 8. And not that 8's bad, but it just didn't live up to it. Yeah. But again, man, when I look at the RK Bro match,
you real quick, do you think it would have been better if they'd have done that match first, kick off the show? Or do you think that would have hurt the show because nobody probably could have lived up to it afterwards, though? So really, you were
which match?
McAfee and Theory.
People would have been I wouldn't have put that first. I think that should have closed the show. The match would have been perfect to be first, in my opinion, with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Now looking at it, of course, they probably would have never done that, but you know what I mean.
I understand why they done it the way they did, because if you just advertise Austin Theory and Pat McAfee as your main event, even though McAfee is one of the most over guys that they have in that company right now, but still, if you announced that as a main event for WrestleMania, people would have been like, "What the hell's this?"
Yeah, but
no disrespect to Austin Theory or Pat McAfee, because they were both great tonight. But just, I mean, you know what I'm saying. If that would have been the main event, hell, McAfee'd say the same thing. He's a big wrestling fan. He done. But dude, I don't know if they have anybody that's as over as him right now.
McAfee was over big time. I mean, it was huge. Yeah, no doubt. But
And then him laying in front of that damn announce table after he got stunned, and Stone Cold threw a beer out there, and Cole handed it down to McAfee. McAfee's laying on his back, just pouring that fucking beer in his mouth, still selling. I was cracking up.
Yeah, him and the other guy too that performed, Austin Theory performed fantastic too. I mean, he performed. Yeah, Theory was fantastic, and yeah, that segment, yeah.
It's because of that segment. I think night 2 was just a little bit better than night 1. And it's because of that segment.
Yeah, but I mean, when you stop and look at like we talked about, I mean, I thought the Happy Corbin in the first night was a good match with Drew, but then of course people are gonna say the best matches were probably the Becky Lynch match and the Seth Rollins match were probably the best. Yeah. I thought the Mysterio's match and Logan Paul performed good, but of course the big thing was Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. That's what everybody was talking about. Okay, you go into this next night. Okay, RK-Bro and the Alpha Academy Street Pop, fantastic match. A lot of people are going to talk about Sami Zayn and Knoxville. I read some people hated it, but most people loved it, thought it was fantastic, and thought it was great. Then you add in the Edge and Styles match, was a classic wrestling match. You know, of two great superstars. Both going. I mean, one's a Hall of Famer, the other one's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. So I mean, it was great. The women in that 4-way knocked it out of the park, and then the McAfee and Theory, and with Stone Cold coming out again, and then the Roman Reigns and Lesnar. Yeah, I think night 2. It's hard for me. The thing about both nights, they had big moments. So I'd give it both 8.5 9s. I don't know if I can pick one over that. Of course, I watched one the second time. I'll watch 2 for a second time tomorrow. But I thought WrestleMania again. I thought it was as good as any. I thought I'd have to watch 30 again and compare it. But over the last 20 years, it'd be between them two, I think.
Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was great. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready for Monday Night Raw. That's gonna be.
And
be telling them guys tomorrow. It's 7:45. Kundal Corner's over. Peace.
Just change the subject real quick. I mean, it's about wrestling. In your opinion, what's the biggest difference in AEW? And forget about the flopping and the flips and the style necessarily, but AEW and WWE.
The biggest production.
Okay, maybe. I mean, I guess that is a difference.
Production and storylines.
Okay. Yeah, I think storyline. But the main thing that I noticed, especially after watching last 2 nights and seeing such great, seeing this in such a great abundance, to me is selling.
Yeah, that's right up there as well. Yes.
Because I mean, let's stop. Okay, let me go through here. Seth Rollins and with Cody Rhodes, especially Seth Rollins. How much Seth Rollins sells. Cody sells, but where did he come from originally? WWE. Okay, I'm not saying that the other stuff didn't help him along the way, but you're taught to sell in the WWE. The facial expressions and the selling, the Bianca Belair Becky Lynch match is what made it so good. Maybe the match, maybe the best as far as a wrestling match, as good as wrestling matches of the weekend. Would you agree with that? Possibly as good as the beginning? Okay. But the selling is what done it. Kevin Owens and Stone Cold. The selling by Kevin Owens. Not that Stone Cold is terrible or anything, but he's not what he was 20 years ago. He's limited in what he could do. Kevin Owens, not that he carried Stone Cold, but due to his selling and his performance, is what helped make that match.
Yeah.
Helped make that match what it was. RK-Bro, the Alpha Academy, and the Street Profits. They're selling. Especially Randy Orton and Riddle. All of them are good at selling. Sami Zayn. The way Sami Zayn sold everything that happened in that match with the jackass. Yeah. Just McAfee, his facial expressions and the way so. Same thing with Austin Theory. Edge and AJ Styles, the facial expressions and stuff. maybe the master of it and don't get enough enough praise for it. Brock Lesnar. We sat there and watched that match and how he sold, the whole match. A spear that he got the first part of the match, he sold to the end of the match. And after the match was over and Roman Reigns was celebrating, he was still in the middle of the ring selling 5 minutes later. And that's what I don't get is people say WWE is not wrestling. The AEW is true pro wrestling. Selling has always been a big part of pro wrestling. Storylines have always been a big part of pro wrestling. Selling is one of the worst things AEW does. Storylines, when they do it right, it's good, but it's far and in between when they have a lot of story. Now they put on some good matches of late because they have Daniel Bryan there, who can have a good match with anybody. Moxley can have a good match with a lot of people. CM Punk can have a good match with about anybody. So they've got some guys that can have good matches, but if there's no stories with them, it hurts them, I think. So, but yeah, I think the lack of selling really hurts AEW, I think. And I'm not saying that WWE is a pro wrestling company. It's not a pro wrestling company. It's a wrestling entertainment company. It's an entertainment company that does wrestling.
Yeah.
But people tell me that AEW is a pro wrestling company. It's full of crap. The pro wrestling company we have is NWA. That's a pro wrestling company. And they can't get a TV network.
Yeah. I wonder why.
I don't know, I don't know.
You would think somebody, I mean, you see these TV networks see that these other companies have these shows that rate, well, as one of the highest shows every week on that network. Why it seems like they would try to get that they would want to get a wrestling show there.
I was looking at a network the other day, CW, and some of their shows was only getting 300,000 people watching. Now, you mean to tell me that Impact Wrestling, who's getting 200,000 people to watch on Axis, who don't hardly go anywhere, CW's probably got, what, 2 or 3 times the audience? I would think, because they got a lot of affiliates.
Yep.
Compared to Axis, that they couldn't bring on Impact, and Impact couldn't get 600,000 or 700,000, 500,000 for a show, and they could get Impact probably cheaper than what they can produce a show for, because Impact's not going to be able to get a $100 million deal. They would take a $20 million deal, $15 million deal. So I don't know why CW don't do something like
that. Yeah, I don't either. That's what I'm saying. Because it's, I mean,
well, for one thing, it's hard to get networks because a lot of networks are tied in, because like TNT and TBS is tied into a certain thing. So they've got,
that's true.
They're already USA and NBC is all tied together. So Raw is already on there. Fox, so I mean, it's tied in with WWE. So WWE ain't gonna say, no, you can't have NWA. That's a conflict of interest. Or you can't have Impact. That's a conflict of interest. We're on your channel.
Yeah.
So it narrows your opportunities. I don't know why an ESPN, who's struggling, don't go after a show like that. But I don't know. Or even a Fox, I know a Fox Sports 1 is not. It's not super great, but it's definitely probably more people seeing it than Access.
Yeah.
But all in all, man, I thought WrestleMania was real good. I was really, you know me, that WrestleMania is like Christmas for me. So, but yeah, I was thrilled. I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah, I thought it was a real good show. It lived up to my expectations of what we was going to get to see this weekend. Actually, probably even a little over my expectations.
I thought it was going to be good. Really hoped it was going to be good, and it was better than I thought. So, yeah, I'm thrilled.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Raw. Raw tonight's going to be awesome. Raw
Yep,
after Mania.
I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good.
And then next weekend we go right back into doing independent shows.
Yep.
Got that big one for the Flex for Bubba 2 in Jeffersonville, Indiana, on the 9th next Saturday.
Yep.
Summit Pro on the 10th next Sunday. So
I'm excited for that show on the 9th because of its fundraiser. And also, I've noticed that by looking at the poster online, we won't see a bunch of people we haven't seen before.
Yeah. And we're going to get to see Rikishi again. That's always a good time.
Yep. And then we've got Summit Pro on the next day, the 10th.
Yep.
And
next weekend after that's Bearcat Rumble.
Got Rumble the 16th, and we already know
that's going to be awesome.
If
you're around the Muncie, Indiana area, or if you're close enough to drive here, you don't want to miss that show on the 16th. Carlito, Epico, Primo, all in action. Yep. You're going to have an appearance by WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi. And also, you have a former Impact wrestler, Congo Kong, is going to be in action.
We just seen him recently, and he was fantastic. So, going to be a great show.
Tag team of the year here in the state of Indiana is in action. Manager of the year here in Indiana will be there.
Yep. And then the guy who was like second for wrestler of the year, G.W.R, their DCW heavyweight champion.
And he's been a WWE prospect.
Yep. So I mean, it's going to be a great show. And $10 for general admission, $20 for front row. And I know there ain't many front row left, maybe a handful.
You know what's crazy? We just mentioned all them guys that are going to be there. And we didn't even mention, and if you think about some guys we didn't even mention that are real good as well, like Blake Money Wright.
Oh, yeah.
JKO, Ladies Man Mike King. I mean, it's the more you think about it, that's a stacked card, man. It's going to be a great card.
Wait a minute. Logan Myers.
Dutch Boy.
J. Beef. The United States champion.
I did see something this morning that wasn't good. I ain't gonna lie, it hurt me a little bit because I was excited about seeing him making his debut at DCCW. Okay. I don't know how long he's gonna be out, but Brody Botkins broke his ankle.
Man,
I saw a post on his personal page yesterday. I think it was. I think it was last night when I got home from your house. So I doubt he's going to be in action on the 16th. He had an X-ray on there, and he has his leg all wrapped and propped up. I guess it happened Friday night. He said it was a freak accident. So I don't know if it happened wrestling or what. But I'm assuming it happened Friday night wrestling. Yeah, is what I would say.
Supposed to wrestle WCWO Friday night. So it probably happened then.
Yeah, I figure it probably happened then because I saw it yesterday. So. Well, wishes from us because we're big fans of yours. We want to see get healthy and get back in, get healed up and get back in there. But it sucks to get hurt for anybody. But man, I think he's on his way up.
Yeah, no, I agree. Also, a reminder: we got a big show tomorrow.
Yep.
We got the Coon Dog Corner. Well, of course, we got an interview tomorrow.
Yeah, so when you listen to this, it'll be today because this will be on. You'll listen to this Monday morning, so it'll be today. But yeah, we have at 4:30 we have the marvelous Mr. Bell, Jordan Bell. Yep. His home organization's AACW. Yep. I have seen that he's been at a couple other places here recently. They got some stuff. That's good to see.
They got a big show coming up tonight.
Yep, April 9th. Kokomo, Indiana. If you're around that area, go check them out. They put on a good show, and they have a great crowd, great fan base. So if you like old school wrestling, you'll like them. Go check them out.
Yep.
But also on Monday, or also later on the day on Monday, we have 7 o'clock. We have the Coon Dog Corner with the DCCW guys, and I know there's a big announcement coming on that. So you definitely want to tune in the Coon Dog Corner this week.
Yeah, I got a big announcement. I think the fans would be interested in. Not necessarily there may be a talent announcement. I don't know, but it's not necessarily a talent announcement. Something else, kind of special for that some fans might be interested in. So yeah, I think they definitely want to listen or watch it.
Yep. And then you also have this week. This is a busy week here. Busy week this week. Wednesday night, we're gonna have the tag team Savage Love are gonna be on. Talk about their upcoming they're getting ready to compete in a tag team tournament. There in WCWO. I think that starts this Friday.
Yeah,
And then also on Saturday, they'll be defending their tag team championships in IPW here in Muncie on Saturday. I think it starts at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6, I believe.
Yep.
So if you're a wrestling fan, go check it out. Savage Love, which consists of Luke Savage and Dalton Love. Both of them are, at least in my opinion, are great young talents that
really good,
and they're improving all the time. So go check them out. But they'll be here, and I think they're actually going to come here. So they'll be here probably live in studio Wednesday at 7.
Cool.
So that should be cool. Also, tomorrow's a big day for the GSR stuff. We have at 3 p.m. Easy Money, a sports betting show, new time, and it's also now available on the All Sports All Plays network, ASAP network. It'll be on like 7 of their channels. It'll still be on R3 channels, but it'll be at 3 p.m. And then GSR now is at 11 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So look for it at its new time. And then I'm also going to be hosting an afternoon show on ASAP that actually starts tomorrow, and that's at 1 p.m. Eastern. But I'll be on their networks. Well, eventually it might be on both, but as of right now, it's just going to be on theirs. But so we got a lot of stuff going on. Follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's where we post all of our stuff about our shows, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Oh, if you need tickets for the Bearcat Rumble here on the April 16th, get a hold of myself, Jared Bird, Terry Coons. Message. You can always message the Delaware County Championship Wrestling Facebook page, and one of us will get back to you as soon as we can. You can message me on any of the social media. I'll get back with you. I have general admission tickets left. I know somebody had messaged wanting to know if there was any front row tickets left. I'm not 100% sure. I know as of on Monday when I talked to, or wait, Friday. As of Friday when I talked to them, I know that if they had any left, it wasn't very many at all. But I will find out. I'll find out, and I'll be able to let you guys know something Monday because they'll all be here Monday, so we'll make an announcement. But
or like I said, try to get a hold of DCCW and but like I said, Jared Bird or Coondog are the ones that have the front row seat, so that's who they need to get a hold of.
Yeah, but I if there's any left, I know there's not many.
There was only no more than 7 or 8 left on Friday.
Yes. Now, let's talk about that real quick before we get off here.
Okay.
Because it still goes back to something like I was talking about last week where organizations working together, but not just that. More restaurants and stuff. I would like to see them be like more community involved, like that Greek's Pizzeria on McGalliard was.
Yep.
The owner was there. As soon as we walked in, he came, greeted us, and talked to us. Told us where we could set up, made sure we had everything we needed.
Yep.
And then this dude, the whole time, was back there busting his ass with his crew, putting out food. And that place, man, they got packed there for a while, and that's not counting any of their call-in orders.
Yep, call in and delivery.
I know at one time every table in there was full.
Yeah, they had to wait. They had to wait. It wasn't a big wait, but he had to wait.
So I mean, and that was cool. That was cool to see not only that, to see the community to come out to Greeks to support the Muncie Central Wrestling like they did. That was cool to see. It was cool to see that place full in support of the area high school kids.
Well, I know they did it last year, and I'm not going to give out the amount, but I know this year they at least doubled the amount this year than what was raised. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, they said it was a lot busier this year than last year. So, and to be honest with you, and I know they'll even say this. I think it might have done it even a little better if we would have could have got it put together a little sooner and been able to advertise it more than just a few days.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, we really didn't get to advertise it more than it wasn't even a week.
Week and a half.
I'm not just talking about us. I'm talking about even DCCW. I mean, because it wasn't set in stone till then, where we knew exactly what. I mean, you're working with 2 or 3 different organizations like that. Sometimes it's hard to get where a good time where everybody can do it.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a real good fundraiser, and happy that all the people came out, or people that sent in orders or delivery orders or whatever. And can't say enough about the crew over there at Greeks. They had a great crew, great waitresses. They were busting the butt. And I believe the gentleman's name is Mark. He's the store owner and manager, and just super nice guy. And Greeks got a fantastic menu, got really good food. So I recommend people go over there and check them out and get some food,
and they have a cool little area for kids where if you take your family there and they eat, the kids can play ping pong while they're waiting on you guys are waiting on your food. They had 4 or 5 different arcade machines, had a foosball table.
Yep.
I mean, they had it's a nice family atmosphere.
Yep, really cool place. Well, we got anything else, or you ready to get out of here?
I think that's all for tonight. It's starting to get late.
Yep.
I still got to get some stuff ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, I got a few things I got to do, but I'm ready for bed. But I got to do a couple things.
I still need to set 3 more microphones up and everything else. But microphones I don't need till later in the evening, so it ain't as big a deal. But hey, it's a busy day tomorrow.
Yeah,
Monday's busy.
Anybody out there didn't watch WrestleMania?
Go watch it. You won't be disappointed.
Get on Peacock and watch night 1 and night 2. I think you'll, unless you're just a hater, if you're a real fan, I think you'll like it.
I have night 1 on right now. That's what I'm watching right now.
Cool.
Only way I could find night 2 on the network was in Spanish. Yeah, my last name's Gonzalez, but no, I can't understand no damn Spanish, so it didn't do me no good.
Well, all right, everybody. Everybody have a good night, day, whatever.
And next week we'll be back. We'll be back to airing or dropping on Sunday again. We just done it a little different this week because of WrestleMania.
Yep.
But we thank everybody that watches this. Make sure you follow us on social media. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. We do now have some new G.W.R. shirts on hand.
No, cool.
If you're interested in getting one of them, get a hold of me either on any of the social media accounts. I'll get right back with you, and we'll get one to you. But
cool.
Thanks for joining us, and we will see you guys next weekend.
Everybody have a good day.